Hello everyone and welcome to News with Abbie Dagrin, and today I'll be continuing a series on my channel that deals with natal chart analysis. Today I'll be doing one on Penn Badgley, and I'll be speaking on his personality traits as well as his characteristic traits based off of his natal chart, and as well as a lot of the success he's been able to garner based off of his natal chart. So please stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become a part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily. Please also make sure you've hit that like button because I know you guys will love this video. And last but not least, please make sure you hit that share button, that you share this video with everyone you know, whether it's your friends, your family members, your enemies, anyone who really loves Penn or really loves natal chart analysis. And up next, we will be speaking on this store that I have, Gaio Beauty. We do sell a lot of very nice products with cotton, and they're very natural. So please make sure down in the description box that you hit that link to purchase from our store. Now let's get right into the video, lovelies. Penn Badgley was born on November 11th, 1986, so this qualifies him to be a Scorpio. With this placement, he has a lot of intensity in himself, and he has a very passionate nature, and it's always driven by a deep need for authenticity and truth. He is someone who's very highly intuitive and possesses like a strong sixth sense, so he knows what's going on and he knows what's going beneath the surface. He loves to delve into deep matters and seeking to uncover hidden truths. He is known for his magnetic presence and the ability to command attention, often exhibiting a quiet desire for power. He's also someone who's very loyal to the people that he loves, and he's someone who has a very powerful and loving of a good challenge in his life. Up next would be his moon in Scorpio. So this is a bit of a hard placement because the moon is very great in Taurus and in Cancer. And as you know, Scorpio is the opposite of Taurus, so having emotions can be very hard for a Scorpio moon to have, even though it is a water sign. But he has a lot of deep emotional tendency to go towards secrecy, so he doesn't really like to show his emotions because it's going to make him very vulnerable. And he's someone who loves connections but just doesn't want to go deep into things. He is all about seeking emotional security through intense experiences. He is someone who is very possessive, but he is very loyal. And because of this, sometimes a lot of jealousy can come. But because of this placement, he is someone who is going to always know what's going on and knows the best thing to say to you. Up next would be his Mercury in Scorpio. So this is his third Scorpio placement. So this qualifies him to have a Scorpio stellium. And with this placement, he's someone who is very much all about learning and acquiring knowledge more than anything else in this world. So him getting information is something that is a priority for him. Also with this placement, they are great detectives because they're able to look behind the surface and look at things that other people are not able to see. They are great at, I would say, maybe interrogating to get information out of someone, and that's something that is a huge gift for them in a way, but it also can be very much like a curse because they're going to see things that they can't unsee, and sometimes that can like interrupt a lot of their relationships. But they're very great at articulating how they're feeling, and they're going to communicate with you how they feel. Up next would be his Venus in Scorpio, another Scorpio placement, and this can be a little rough because Venus is very great in Taurus, and this is the opposite. But he has a deep emotional attachment in relationships, and he always looks to bond with his partner. He's someone who's very passionate and transformative when it comes to relationships. So he thrives in a relationship that challenges him and that causes him to evolve, leading him to have personal growth and transformation. He's all about being mysterious and magnetic in a relationship. He is someone who is going to have a perfect magnetism that makes people want to come to him, and he has this aura that makes people love him, and that's something that we even see in his career life. He's someone who is always going to desire for ownership and control in a relationship, and that's when he would have to balance that out. Up next would be his Mars in Aquarius. So with this placement, he's all about social justice and independence with a focus on intellectual stimulation and unconventional approaches. He's someone who loves to prioritize logic and reasoning when it comes to channeling his energy into progressive causes, social changes, and forward thinking. And this is what his drive is, because Mars has a lot to do with drive. So a lot of his drive has to do with social changes, progressive causes, social justice issues, and he's someone who wants to help, and that what drives him to do what he does. He's someone who's very independent and unconventional with his drive. He's someone who's very intelligent with his drive, and he is all about society. He's very detached but logical, and that's something that really helps him with making decisions as well. Up next would be his lovely placement of the Jupiter in Pisces, and this is such a great placement for him to have. Having a Jupiter in Pisces, Sagittarius, or Cancer is so perfect because luck just comes to you all the time. And he's someone who does have a moral code when it comes to helping others who are less fortunate. He's someone who kind of finds luck in that by helping other people and doing what's according to his heart. He is at his best when he gives himself to what he has and tries to avoid being a victim about certain things. He is a true idealist, but he is someone who needs to learn not to always be upset, but to learn how to cooperate with others from a spiritual point of view and to grow from what he preaches. He's also someone who will just get a lot of luck, and he just needs to put himself in the door and things will just happen to him miraculously. Up next would be his Saturn in Sagittarius. And with this placement, he is someone who will need to learn the lesson of focusing one thing at a time until he masters it. Sagittarius is a fire sign, and they tend to like to dabble in different things. And Sagittarius in particular, they're all about like different change, traveling, and doing different things. And with this life, he will have to learn patience and perseverance, which I feel like it's a lot easier for him because that fire sign, they have that fire in them. But patience is one thing because everything will not come to them. And fire signs, they want things immediately. So with this placement, he will need to learn patience, perseverance. I feel like he's able to tap into. One of his strengths is being able to love adventures and face challenges. So things in his life will be able to get better. Up next would be his Uranus in Sagittarius. And with this placement, it's all about him wanting to dabble in different things like Renaissance, very much the type of person who loves to do different things like traveling, going from different places, and being able to know what is great for them and what is not great for them. They're also the types of people who are very open-minded to different cultures, different-minded to different places, so this is something that will be helpful. And if they ever wanted to, because Uranus has a lot to do with like changing society for the better, they would use their intelligence and the different things that they've learned from different cultures and traditions to implement that within the country or the society that they're in order for things to get better for society. So their open-mindedness kind of helps them make laws to help other people. Up next would be his Neptune in Capricorn. And with this placement, he is someone who's thinking about increasing his power, wealth, and influence in this world. And this is something that is a priority for him, but he's also able to put out reasonable goals for himself in order for him to accomplish. And he is someone who loves to work. They idealize that, him and whoever has this placement. And they're also the types of people who love to be selfless and giving to other people. And sometimes because of that, they don't feel like they can accomplish their goal because they feel like they just need to simply be selfless. However, they can balance out doing work for themselves and doing work for other people. And just things will just balance out for him or anyone with this placement. They're able to learn how to help themselves first and then help other people after to really give him that satisfaction and gratification in himself. Up next would be his Pluto and Scorpio. So he's been able to gain this placement because he is a millennial. He was born between 1984 and 1995. This is a great placement to have. Scorpio has a lot to do with looking deeper into situations to discover what's really going on behind the scenes. And that's something that I feel like millennials really have. They love to look at what's going on in society and try their best to see if there's a solution that can come, but they just want to dig into society and see what the issue is first, because sometimes in order for things to be fixed, you have to know what's really going on. And they are the types of people who are going to challenge the status quo to make sure that things are equal in their eyes. They're the types of people who are of courage and they're going to fight until they know that everything has been accomplished and that things are better for themselves. Up next would be his North Node in Aries. So with this placement, he will need to develop these attributes. So one of them is being independent. One of them is being self-aware. Another one is trusting his impulses, having courage, having constructive self-interest, moderation in giving to others, being self-nurturing towards himself, being a bold and an assertive initiator, using his energy and courage to inspire change, identifying with the warrior within him, asserting his self-will to overcome challenges, taking risk and not being afraid to speak his mind, and being a pioneering spirit of his generation. Also making sure that he is going to surround himself with people who support his assertiveness, and his boldness is another priority within himself that he'll need to accomplish. Up next would be his Chiron in Gemini, and this will be the last placement. So with this placement, he may have had the wound of communication, learning, intellectual pursuits, or trauma related to early education, siblings, or neighborhood community. He might have struggled with communicating or expressing himself early on in life, and he may have had a hard time with his speech. So he may have had a speech impediment or a stuttering or speech disorder. He may have had early experiences with siblings or neighbors that were really challenging to deal with. He may have experienced frequent moves or changes in school, his neighborhoods, leading to feelings of instability or disconnections. So a way for him to heal this is by embracing his curiosity. Instead of shying away from his communication, focusing on making a priority to improve his communication skills and letting go of the feeling of the poor communication skills he has. Well, that's all I had for you lovelies today regarding Mr. Penn's natal chart. Please let me know down below in the comments section how you felt, and did you learn more about him? Please let me know who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. Please make sure you've hit that subscribe button and that notification. Also hit that like or share button. And last but not least, please make sure you are following me on all of my social media accounts and also supporting my Gael Beauty store. The link is down below. And if you guys would like to support my other channels, I will do a little something special for you guys. So I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.